Hey there, Chef Kris here at the Clubhouse with another one of our presentations for the Virtual Chef Series. Really excited about this one because it's a staple of dining here in America. And what you won't realize is this actually is Mexican food. Today we're doing Caesar salad. And I know what you're thinking to yourself, Caesar salad, well, that was created by Julius Caesar, right? He must have eaten that, that's how it got its name. Incorrect. Back in the 1920s, there was a gentleman by the name of Cesar Cardini who ran a restaurant in Tijuana, Mexico. And his kitchen was so busy one night that he needed something to give his guests for a little something to nibble on while they waited for their food. And so he grabbed what was around him, and he grabbed romaine lettuce, and he grabbed eggs, and he grabbed cheese, and he made what we know today as Caesar salad. So I want to walk you through the steps to make a delicious Caesar salad, starting from your very own Caesar salad dressing from scratch. Now, if you have any questions about this, you want to give me you want to ask me any questions about the recipe, or you have suggestions, or you have something you'd like to see in the series, you can see me here at souschef@springrun.com, so email me there, or you can find me at the Clubhouse, or give a call. Love to hear from you. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you is we're using fresh herbs. I wanted to show you how to clean and chop rosemary. We've already cleaned some thyme. You can see we've just kind of run the stem through our fingers, as I'm about to show you with the rosemary. And we've got it in our little container here. We'll wait till we're ready for the rosemary and we'll chop it all at once. So we've got our rosemary here. We're just going to kind of run our fingers down the middle so that we clean the stems off like that. And then the top you just kind of pick off, so you got a nice clean stem like that. Push that all to the side. You see we got some loose leaves there. And then you just want to take it and kind of just tear it up with your fingers. You don't want these big woodsy chunks in there. And you just continue to separate until you have a little pile of loose leaves like that. And then we take our thyme that we've cleaned in the same way, and you just two fingers on the knife, the other two kind of floating, and you just run your knife back and forth on the board until they're the size you want. Now for this recipe, we don't have to get too fine with our herbs because we want them to kind of be seen in the mix as we're serving it. And that's how you chop rosemary and thyme. So we're going to start. We have our food processor here. We've got our mayonnaise. That's going to be our starter. Everything we're going to add to the mayonnaise. We're going to emulsify this a little bit. Okay. We've got toasted garlic. So what I've done is I've taken this garlic and I've toasted it in regular salad oil. I don't want to use olive oil because it's going to impart too much of a flavor. I really want the garlic to stand out. So I toasted it until it was a little bit brown and softened all the way through. So we're going to add that in there. And the oil's fine in there. The oil has residual flavor of garlic. It's really going to jazz up the dish. We have Worcestershire sauce, about a tablespoon. Dijon mustard. Now what I like to do with Dijon mustard is sometimes I'll use the smooth Dijon mustard, and sometimes I like to use the whole grain with the big chunks and the mustard seeds still in there. And I would encourage you to use whatever you like. But this is a really great zippy flavor in there. It also helps act as an emulsifier. We've got some cheese. This is a blend of Asiago, Pecorino Romano, and Parmesan cheeses. And I like my Caesar really cheesy, so we're going to go ahead and add that right in there. We've got anchovies in oil. We're going to drizzle the oil and just drop the anchovies right in there. And then we've got a whole lemon. We're going to take our zester, microplane, as you can see, the micro one, and we're just going to run it across the skin a little bit. You can do the whole thing if you really like a nice lemony Caesar. I'm only going to do about half of it. We're just going to add that zest right in there. We're also going to take the juice out of the lemon. So we've got what we call a reamer. We're going to take the juice, we're going to take the lemon and hold it at the end of our hand, thusly, so we can catch the seeds that are going to come through when we squeeze this. We don't want seeds in our dressing, obviously. And we're just going to run that right through. Getting all that good juice out of there. It would appear that we've lost a couple seeds to the effort anyway, but it is what it is, I guess. Which is fine. It's not going to affect it. It's all going to get ground up anyways. You'll never notice it. And then as we squeeze, we clinch the rest of those seeds in our hand. And there you can see we've saved the seeds from going into our dressing. And then finally, a little black pepper. Just because we like to add that and season it well anyways. We don't have to worry too much about salt in this dish because we have the anchovies and the cheese. There's going to be enough natural salt in there that we're not going to require additional salt. But it's your dressing. If you want more salt in there, if you like a nice salty Caesar, I would encourage you to do that as well. So we're going to start this up. Let it kind of blend. I don't want to get any on the camera lens. Okay, so now you can kind of see we've got a little bit of a mixture, a little melange going on there. It's kind of loose. What we're going to do is we're going to incorporate garlic oil right here into our dressing as it's going, and it should emulsify and thicken it right up. So we're going to let this run constantly. Drizzle our oil slowly so that there's enough time to incorporate the oil into the dressing. About a half cup of oil right now that we're adding in. Again, it's the oil that I cooked the garlic in, so it's got a real strong, nice garlic flavor without adding too much earthiness that we get from olive oil. Drizzle just a little bit more there. Give it a minute to fully incorporate. And there we are. And you can kind of see it's thickened up significantly. It's a little chunky. It's got a great flavor coming off of it. You can definitely see that there are some lumps in there. You can run it as smooth as you like. I like a nice hearty, rustic Caesar dressing that gives a little texture, a little more intensity of flavor to the salad when we make it, but you can see it's nicely incorporated. There's not a lot of oil sitting on top or anywhere. If that does happen, you add a little bit too much oil, just add a little more mustard to it, a little more lemon juice, it'll emulsify nicely. And so that's our dressing. We actually want to add a little bit more flavor. We've got the herbs that we chopped up earlier. I'm going to add those in. And you know what? I'm going to give another squeeze of lemon. Why? It's my dressing. I can. There we go. Just a little bit more lemon in there, just because I like a nice lemony Caesar. And we're going to pulse it a couple more times just to incorporate our new ingredients. And there you have it. Caesar dressing. And I tell you, the smell, the garlicky, fishy smell coming off of this is just incredible. So we're gonna make the salad next and incorporate this into our next step. So we're gonna make our salad. We have our head of romaine lettuce, nice and clean. You want to remove any outside leaves that might have browning spots or a little bit too much green. And what we want to use is basically from here to here. Down here, it's a lot of bitterness. There's not a lot of sweetness of the lettuce, not a lot of crispness like the lettuce has here. So this is where we're aiming. So we're going to start taking our sharp knife, minding our fingers, going right down Main Street, splitting our Caesar, our romaine lettuce in half. And then we're going to take the point, and we're just going to go in biases, nice long leaves. And that, we're just going to discard that. There's no value to that. Same thing here. Just kind of go on the bias. We have our bowl. We're gonna add our lettuce leaves in. And we want this to be kind of leafy. It's supposed to be a texture salad. You can use a fork and knife to cut it if you like. A lot of times when you go to restaurants, things are chopped up very small, diced very fine. We want this to be exciting. We want it to have some texture. We want the presentation to be something new. And so we're going to take our house-made dressing right here, fresh out of the container, and add it to our chopped romaine. I'm just gonna get in there with my glove because that's what cooking is to me. It's a feel, it's a touch. There we are, nicely mixed. And you can kind of see, and I'm gonna bring this up a little bit, you can kind of see there's texture to that dressing. It's not just a smooth topping that you put on it. It's got personality, it's got character. You can see you've got garlic and anchovies in the mix. Nice mustardy, garlicky smell to it. That's what we're looking for, okay? So there's that. We bring our plate over. We're just gonna put this, kind of heap it on the middle of the plate, trying to keep the insides of the plate, the outsides of the plate clean. That. I'm gonna finish with a little pepper on top. And then we have these delicious house-made croutons we made out of baguette, and I'll brush a little bit of garlic oil and some dried basil on top of them and bake them till they're crispy. We're gonna add some of those to the plate. There we go. We've got a little bit more of our blend of cheese. This is the Asiago Romano Parmesan blend. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on. I'm going to move this because I don't like that way that looks over there on the edge. And then finally, to finish, we're going to drizzle just a little bit more garlic oil because we want that really garlicky sheen flavor to it. So there it is. Professionally made Caesar salad in your own home. So there it is. Another phenomenal recipe for you. Caesar salad made in your own home, made from scratch with your flavors, your love in there. That was a recipe that I learned when I was just a young man working at a place in Manchester, New Hampshire called the High Five Restaurant. One of my earliest experiences in the industry. I still use that recipe to this day, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Till next time, we'll see you here at the clubhouse. Bye now.